champ is here. The 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 champ is here.
Welcome to State Champions Podcast, where we discuss great ideas with people in the world of politics who are part of the community, and they definitely have to be part of the culture. I'm your co-captain, Raphael Peterson. To my left and to your right is co-captain George T. Ward. What would our podcast be with two great friends if we didn't discuss sports? But not tonight, G. We're not discussing those sports because we have an individual that's going to come on the set in about 5 minutes here, and he's going to make a quest transitioning from the chief of the fire department to city council. We're going to ask him a ton of questions. Why does he want to do it? What's his motives? What got his brain going where he said, I want to switch from here to go to there?
What's the end game?
What's the end game? And we're going to get to that tonight. It's going to be great. G, make sure you tell everybody where can they follow us and where can they get in touch with us and all those great things.
You know, y'all got to follow us on YouTube first. Let's talk about it. Facebook, obviously, you can go on our page and check us out. Instagram, again, we'll go back to it. YouTube, check us out. Hit the like button, but subscribe. You can always go back and check out our previous shows, episodes, and listen to some of the wisdom and knowledge that we got to kick. And obviously, phone numbers 313-458-4445.
Yeah, make sure y'all call in. Y'all may have some questions for the chief. Y'all want to see where y'all fit in. How does he fit in? How's it's going to work out? How's everything going to go? And I think it's going to be a great show because we have to do things like this to ensure that we bring in the right people to the table for our community so that our culture can be successful in the long run. Go, G. I know you got
no question about it. And you don't get an opportunity to just dial in and talk to your candidates often. So you got to take full advantage of this State Champions Podcast. We got the guy right here, up close and personal, in the basement. He came to see you.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about it, man. I think I want to say this to G, that obviously the chief has been here before in a different capacity, and I think it's going to be great to be get that chance for people to actually talk to him. They're going to get into the chat and say, "Hey, Chief, what's going on?" And don't call to say, "Hey, what's up, Chief?" Give him a hard question. Give him something so he got to be ducking and dodging. Because I know the man, he ain't going to be ducking and dodging. He going to come out swinging, baby. So, but before we get going, I want to make sure y'all understand this. This episode is sponsored by none other than the Burger Shack. And I'm going to tell you something, G. You have to go to the Burger Shack right there on 8606 Telegraph, just south of Joy Road. I'm about to tell you this, G. The Burger Shack is out cold.
Burger Shack.
The Burger Shack is out cold.
I've seen
it. You have to seeing it and going in there and tasting it.
Two totally different things.
Let me tell you this. Check this out. What you see on the screen now is a brisket with the mac and cheese. Listen to me. It's crazy. But listen, hold on. This is what I had today. I had the brisket sandwich with the bacon on there, the beef bacon though.
Yeah, because they ain't serving no
That's
shit.
what I'm trying to tell you, G. It's going to be crazy. So, man, it's going to be great. But make sure that you call in, call a friend, tell a friend. 313-458-4445. We have the chief in the basement, James Harris. When we come back, you're going to see it. You see the flyer. When we come back, he's going to be sitting right next to us, right on the stage, up in the building. So you know what I'm saying? Just make sure you call a friend, tell a friend again. Make sure you hit our socials. You know what I'm saying? Chief, what you thinking? So you come on up and when we get there, everybody's going to say, man, the chief is in the building and it's going down. So come on up, Chief, and let's do what we do. Everybody, call a friend, tell a friend.
Get on Facebook too, dog. Get on YouTube. Check us out. Comment. If you have any comments, we don't care what they are. Why don't you come on and engage with us right now? And again, talk to the chief, see what's going on. He's going to be city council member.
Yeah.
But let's get some hard questions. if you got some suggestions for me, if you think you're a politician and you know what's happening, you can be the Monday morning quarterback on Sunday. Get your opportunity. Come on, let's go.
Welcome to the show, Chief James Harris. Appreciate you. My man, we glad you're in the building, baby.
Come on, man.
Listen, so you know how we do this. We're going to talk about everything. And I'm going with the first question, G.
Yes, sir.
First question. Why do you, James Harris, want to go from the chief for the fire department to city council at large? And I want you to tell us that, but then explain to the people, what does at large actually mean?
Okay, I'll start here. So, Cordis Elementary School, 8100 West Davidson, right at Rose. Don't ask me why I know addresses. I'm a fire chief. I know.
That's right.
Bewick to Beaverland, from 8 Mile to the river. You ask me, I know. So anyway, city council come to my school for career day. Council member by the name of Clyde Cleveland.
I remember Clyde Cleveland. Big dude. Fair skin, curly hair.
Yes, sir.
What you talking
Kind of
about?
husky.
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
And ironically, I never saw a fire chief, a firefighter at all. Had everybody. Coaches came, doctors, lawyers, the police, the blue pigs. Everybody came.
Yeah.
Clyde Cleveland came in my class. And I like how he commanded the room. And he would pepper them with questions, and he was telling us how he helps the citizens, how he helps the city. And back then, I was taught by the elders to read the paper. They told me, young man, 20 cents a day, you know what's going on around the whole world. So I had to read some form of the paper. Of course, I went straight to the sports, but I would come back and read the locals. So I can't recall the time frame. May have been weeks, maybe been a month. But I'm reading the paper, pop it open. Who I see on the front page? Clyde Cleveland. I'm like, that's the gentleman that came to my school. I like how he commanded the room. I'm reading up on him. He did some kind of ordinance. I'm like, dang, he's got that kind of influence in the city and he can do that? I'm like, man, that's interesting. So fast forward, I'm graduating from high school. Nick Hood came to my buddy's cookout for high school. Just open house. And I think we've lost that sense of community with some of our elected officials. You only see them every 4 years when they're on the ballot. You don't see them day to day. You don't see them in the park. You don't see them at church. You don't see them at the store. You don't see them at a cookout, at an open house. You don't see them at high school graduations, as you should. Yep. It's the spotlight should be on the people, not the person, not the candidate. So that's my biggest why.
Oh wow. So and tagging, what does at large actually mean for the people who are not familiar with the process and want to know what does he mean at large? What does that mean?
Okay, we have approximately 650,000 residents in the city of Detroit, 142 square miles, 7 council districts. So the city's divided up in 7 council districts. There are 2 at-large spots. The 2 at-large spots cover the whole city. The entire city, from east to west, from southwest to north end, downtown and midtown.
Wow.
Okay, G, go, because I know you got a ton of questions. I'm be in the chat all day too.
You know, Chief, obviously, we done spent some time with you off the air before, man, for years.
Y'all family, this family.
Yes, sir.
So I've never even heard you mention, and you know what? I'm pondering this. When did it hit you? Were you riding your fire chief car? Were you out and about? Did you get disgruntled about a particular incident? What made you say, you know what? I think I'm about to make this move.
For years, man. Years ago, back in 2007, I was the president of Phoenix. That's the minority group of the fire department. Had about 400 members. So since then, people have been approaching me. You should run for this. You should run for state rep. You should run for Wayne County commissioner. You should run for city council. You should run for an elected position. We think you'd be good. During that course, I was meeting people, making connections. And last summer, the governor came to one of our firehouses to sign a bill. And I introduced her. And I swear, man, my phone was ringing off the hook. I got approached by several people. This was like July, August. Like, hey, it's your time. So I prayed on it, slept on it, talked to my family. Because like I told my family, y'all doing this too. Y'all running too.
No question.
It's no longer, it's a whole different animal.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's an elected official. So I talked to them. They were behind me 100%, prayed on it. And I was like, let's go. It's time to transition.
Wow, man, I'm excited. So, and I love you coming in the gear. You looking all professional, and I'm talking about the tie. You in here, you looking good, man.
Yeah.
So it's part of the job is representing the city of Detroit in a professional way.
Correct.
And of course, people have to see that in the young people because like you said, many years ago, the brother came over there and he spoke to you from city council. He left a lasting impression on you.
Yes.
And now we have to pick it back up. We need our Black men in this community to do that and be professional while they're doing it, so that the young people will say, oh, I can aspire to be him. And I sure appreciate what you're doing, man. Keep it up. G, go ahead. I know you got some more questions. Any questions? Make sure y'all get in the chat. Make sure y'all ask the chief the tough questions. Say what's his motives, what it is. Let's ask some questions.
Don't be complaining.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear you complain in March of next year. You got an opportunity to talk to the chief.
Right here, right
Chief,
now.
Fire chief, are you saying, you know what, once elected, this is strictly what you'll be doing now with the city? Is it a chance that you could moonlight? I mean, what's the deal? What's the requirements on that? Now you no longer can be the chief. What's the deal?
Oh, definitely, I'd have to retire.
Oh, you have to retire. Okay.
But it's in my heart. It's in my spirit. I bought my own personal fire gear. So whatever vehicle I'm in, it's going to be in the trunk. So when I'm riding down the street,
something go down.
I'm ready.
They can see city council member, former fire chief,
En route.
James Harris.
Let's go.
So it's just like anything, it's just like a hooper. You always have
You got your
sneakers.
You never let it
You
go.
might have a rock in the trunk. You might have it with you.
So let me ask you this. Did you get was anybody in the family a naysayer like, maybe, you know what, Dad, you know what, son, maybe, you know what, you got this going on now. This is a little bit of a risk. You got a great thing going with your career. What was the thought on that? Or was everybody like, you know what, let's roll?
You know what? I had one of my uncles reached out and was like, you know what? Your life is no longer private. I said, my life ain't been private for the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unfortunately, it's what I signed up for. I can't be a regular person sometimes. Certain things I can't do in public. Certain things I can't do. That's just a reality. So I'm pretty much been prepping for it without trying to prep for it for years. 8 years. Yes.
Wow.
No, that's good stuff. It's just like when you in the basement, you know what we do on State Champions Podcast. We always find something to toast to, so we know you can't drink. So I definitely have you some water back here.
We got
well, we have
but you know what?
We have
it's the Fiji though. It's good water.
Yeah, then we're gonna have to do a toast
It's
to the good brother. And so because we always find something to celebrate. And anytime there's a great brother down in the basement, we have to celebrate him all the time, because we typically don't get our flowers while we can still smell them.
Amen.
So now we have to do this. So G, I know you got a can opener, but go ahead, G. I'm sure, Chief, you have some more things you want to add, because I have a quick question.
Yes.
How will this career shift change for you, the transition from chief to council person? Have you thought about all of those things, and how would that look for you on a day-to-day operation?
It's funny, believe it or not, the questions I get now, and I try to help people with, and I do help people with, you'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I may get a call like, hey, my son go to King, he having trouble, he need tutoring, can you help me?
Oh
yeah, I happen to know somebody. Make a call real quick.
And you have.
And I have. You know, our hydrant been out on our street for like 3 days. It's been leaking, and that's the water department. But maybe I know somebody at the water department. Let me see if I can get this fixed for you. My dog got loose. You'd be surprised at the questions I get on a daily basis. Don't have anything to do with a fire, emergency, EMT, nothing. And I enjoy helping people. I enjoy building bridges.
As a civil servant, because that's what you've been, a civil servant. You look at it, you talk about Clyde Cleveland. Obviously, you know, we looked at Coleman Young, man, with such high regard.
Yes.
Now here you are, the fire chief. And, you know, we've been in places that some of the young people, man, he the chief of police for real, because they see you cool. You know? They see you with the jimmies on and all of that. And then they kind of look at you like, maybe I could be there one day.
That's attainable.
Man, that's attainable.
Yeah.
So now here we are right now. Now a role model takes another leap. Have you thought about the impact that this is going to have? Because we're in a state of emergency with our young black boys now. Let's not hide from this, okay? You can't run from it.
Yes.
And it's something that you're going to have to address once you get into that seat. Man, have you thought about the impact that you could really have on these young people now that you're able to really walk around every single day and not worry about the barriers and just say, okay, I got to deal with fires? Have you thought about the impact that you're going to have as a role model?
Absolutely. And same with the fire department. It's not a day. The best thing, we don't get paid a lot, but the best repayment is when I'm out at the grocery store. I'm at Rosedale Market or something, and a kid comes up to me, and y'all know this, we still look the same. They change. And they'll be like, hey, Lieutenant Harris. I'm like, okay, Lieutenant Harris, this must have been years ago.
Yeah.
hey, you remember me? You came to my school. Or, hey, my son, he said you came to school. He about to get in the fire academy next week.
Wow.
And you like,
Man, come on.
I like to think I had something to do with that.
No, you did.
Yes, sir.
And I want to be sitting up on a golf course or something 20 years from now and looking at the next black male that's a city council person or a fire chief and be like, I hope I had some type of influence in his life or her life.
Wow.
Wow, that's big time. That's big
That's
time.
what
Right
it's
there.
about.
So let me ask you this. So I'm gonna keep the questions rolling because I have a ton of questions.
Let's get it.
If and when you get in the office, how will you handle corporate America versus handling the people? Because we understand that in order to do business in the city of Detroit, city council have to be on board with corporate.
Definitely.
But you cannot forget about the citizens. How will you handle those type of situations in the community once you get in the seat?
I love bringing people together. I love building bridges. And corporate America's got to understand what they got. They got a jewel. You open your business in Detroit, you got a jewel. One thing Detroiters are going to do, we're going to spend some money.
Yes, we are.
Sure.
On a high level.
Yes, we are.
If we don't have it, we're going to find a way to get it and spend it.
Of course.
So corporate America's got to understand that. And I don't know if people are sitting at that table explaining it to them in layman terms like, hey, you open your business here, your success rate is going to go through the roof.
Yes,
Indeed.
But you got to appeal to the people. And you got to do something to give back.
Yes.
You got to come to the neighborhood. You got to build a park. You got to build a school. You got to do something in the neighborhood. And open a satellite business in the neighborhood, not just downtown and midtown.
There you go.
Wow.
That's big time. Go ahead, Chief.
What's your first thought? When you go in, what is the first thing that you're trying to tackle right away? What do you feel like is pressing for us right now?
Pride in your neighborhood.
Talk to me.
Nothing bothers me more than seeing somebody litter and walk by it.
Wow.
Or the next person walk by it. Or I didn't throw it down. I want to pick it up. Yes, you do. You live here. This is your community. I don't care if you threw it down on the ground or not. Let's have pride in where we live first.
Wow.
Yeah, no doubt
Bring that
about it.
pride back. And you see so many people, again, without having that type of pride. And we see you visiting the schools, and we see you've read to the youngsters, so on and so forth.
Yes.
Will you continue with doing that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, and don't get me wrong, it's nice being in the office and getting on your laptop and things, but you got to touch the people. You got to be amongst the people. People have to have a connection with you to believe in you and trust you. And it works both ways. You can't sit in your office on the 11th floor and looking out the window on the river and know what's going on in Brightmoor. You got to go to Brightmoor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You don't know what's going on Cadillac and Mac because somebody told you. No, I'm going to go over there.
Yeah, you're going
Let's
to go
address this head on.
Yes, sir.
Come on, let's sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
What park y'all at? Let me come to Kelly Park and sit down and have a hot dog with you and see what your concerns are. And take it back to City Hall.
That's
There we
big
go.
time. We got a question from Dawn McGrady. I think they're trying to say, why did you want to lead a position?
Well, one thing about fire chief, you can't do it forever. So regardless, we have to retire at a certain age. Not to mention, I'm never one of holding on. I get elected city council. I'm not going to sit in the city council seat for 30 years just because I can. I want to pass the torch to the next young leader, the next aspiring leader. It's enough out here for all of us. So Lord willing, in November, between November and January, I'll be retired, making my transition.
Wow.
You just mentioned this, and George mentioned this earlier. If and when you get into that city council seat, what type of youth programs will you have to start developing young people to get into the world of politics? Because I think this is part of the problem from our community and our standpoint. I always joke with different people all the time about, I'm talking about family members, and I said I was mad at my dad because he never really pushed politics on me many years ago. So one day we were talking about politics in the driveway many years ago. I think I probably was about 27 at the time.
Right.
And he said, man, you should have been in politics. I said, I wasn't in politics because you didn't tell me about it.
Right.
So now that you're in it, how are you going to transition and help those young people get involved in the political process? Because when I'm doing group and I ask about the political process, it's really shameful what I'm hearing. They have no interest in politics. They don't want to do anything with politics. And I say, do you realize that people in politics are going to make decisions about you and me, and they don't look like us. So what will you do to bring those young people in?
I'm so glad you touched on that. Not only are they going to make decisions about you and me, they're going to make decisions about you and me, whether we at the table or not.
Absolutely.
There you go.
If you don't show up to the table, guess what? You don't have no control, no say so. They're going to do what they want.
Mhm.
If you come to the table, at least you got a chance of getting what you want.
Yes.
So back to your question, I want it relatable. Back when we were growing up, and still some politics now, and that's why I'm here. I want to build that bridge. We had a group of young folks on my team. We call them Generation Now. They're from like 18 to 30.
Okay. Generation Now.
We
Okay.
sat around, did a round table, and they were just telling us how they feel, what they think about.
Okay.
They're extremely intelligent. A lot of people get that knock on them and say they're lazy. No, they're not. But when they get their education, they get their talent, they want to put to use.
Mhm.
They're different. They don't want to just work for minimum. They feel like, hey, I'm talented. I got good grades. I went to a trade school. I excel. I should be paid accordingly.
Mhm.
So I want to sit down with them and come to their level. I listen to what y'all listen to. What y'all gonna turn on? Y'all gonna turn on some Icewear Bezos, some Boss Man D-Lo? Let's listen to that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about politics.
Okay.
Y'all like hooping? Let's turn on the hoop game. Let's talk about it.
Mhm.
But I ain't gonna shun them and talk about them and what they do, because what did we do when we were at their age?
Come on, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Our folks, the folks generation ahead of us, they wasn't listening to nothing but Motown.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Here we come with
Here we come with Run DMC and all that. So, but we shouldn't shun them because they got a voice and they our future. And if we don't train them and relate to them now, when we get older, who's gonna take care of us? Who's gonna make our decisions while they the politicians, while they the coaches?
That's major. Chief, what I guess most people don't realize is you've spent some time on a weekly basis. You were speaking to young adjudicated men and women.
Yes.
Talk to me about that experience and how did that make you look at certain things? Because oftentimes when we're in certain positions, sometimes we don't really know how bad or good certain things are.
Yes.
Talk to us about that experience talking to those young people and what kind of outlook, when you left some of those days, what were you thinking?
A lot of those days, most of those days, it was painful. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people just write them off and they animals and they criminals and they assume they know their stories. But you don't until you sit down and have a conversation with them. And at the end of the day, they still kids. I don't come from good homes, good backgrounds.
Yep.
Just made one bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
Just instead of sitting down talking to somebody, maybe somebody just gave them medication and just left them alone.
Wow.
Instead of sitting down, counseling them, talking to them, showing them. We got lucky. We had mentors. We had your Kelsos.
Yeah.
We had your P. Watts.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We had, may it rest in peace, my football pal, Coach Marquise Hodges. You had a leader in the community that you could look up to outside your household.
Yes.
A lot of them didn't have that chance.
Mm.
So to just shun them and put them to the side and throw them away and put them in jail and say, hey, they can't be helped. Yes, they can. They had emotions. They had feelings. Sometimes we left out of their teary-eyed.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Just listen to their stories.
Yes, sir.
They're people. And everybody deserves a first, second, and third chance.
Yeah, for sure.
So to write them off and say, oh, that's it. No. You got people out here, brilliant billionaires who've been to jail, who did time.
Oh my God.
Look at Malcolm X. Some of the great people in our world, our leaders, have actually been incarcerated and came out and been success stories.
Extremely.
And so we definitely cannot turn our back on those people. And so with the position, once, if and when you get in, how do you think your impact and what do you want your legacy to be once you get inside the city council? What do you want your legacy to be?
I would like a neighborhood hub in every district where I can at least be present at least twice a month in each district.
Wow.
Where they don't have to come downtown and look for parking and come to the Culminate Young Municipal Building in my office and my suite. No, I'm going to come to you and we're going to hold court. And it's going to be your issues. You tell me what you want from your council member. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the spotlight is on the people. It's about the people. It's not about us. It's not about the elected official. We're just a voice at the table to get what's done, what's right for them.
Now we heard you say, Chief, you ain't gonna sit in this spot long. You know, you're gonna keep this train moving. It's always room to elevate and find somebody to come behind you, and you're gonna groom them. What's the end game for you? Have you thought? You say, you know, man, one day I'm gonna have to be the mayor. Have you thought that far ahead, or are you just specifically thinking about city council right now? But I know you're a visionary.
I am, but I'm laser focused.
There you go.
Right now, it's strictly because I'm still chiefing. So when I get off the clock, 5 o'clock, it's campaign mode. I'm laser focused on city council right now.
Wow.
Yes. I haven't even thought about it. I'll be brutally honest.
Yeah, and that's interesting
That's
because
crazy.
now you still the chief. And so how do you balance this campaign run, still being the fire chief and trying to get into this new endeavor? How do you balance that?
A lot of prayer
there
and
you
a
go.
lot of rest.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time management piece is huge. Used to be, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, and it's gym, work, city council campaign, rest. Weekends, campaign, church, rest, family time. That's
Wow.
Wow.
How many, and if you know off the top of your head, how many candidates are there running
Right now.
in this election coming up? How many, do you know how many candidates there are? It's probably tons.
Last I checked at large, I think something like 20 people, 25 people that pulled petitions. I'm not
Okay.
sure on the exact number.
Okay. Because you made your announcement a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week, or 2 weeks
Correct.
ago,
Yes.
on a Monday. Yeah.
Yep.
So how did that go? I saw some of the footage. I was not able to get there, obviously. So how was that welcome when you came out and you announced your campaign? How did the people receive you?
It was humbling. The love that was in that room, it was humbling. It was a great experience. I've never really thrown a party or anything. It was kind of like a family reunion.
Wow.
I mean, some of the people I saw I hadn't seen in years.
Really?
It got emotional for a minute. I didn't get choked up. I was that close, but it was a lot of love in that room, a lot of inspiration, a lot of encouragement, and a lot of people saw hope when I spoke.
Okay.
What are some of the things, Chief? Again, for you to say, look, I need to do this. What are some of the things that you would like if you weren't running and you're just a citizen? You've been a resident of this city a very long time. What are some of the things you would like to see city council do or have done and hasn't been done yet?
First of all, we're gonna put the neighbor back in neighborhood.
There we go.
Let's start there. It's no excuse for you not to know your neighbor next to you, left, right, and across the street. It's no excuse.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, the youth. We gotta have youth forums. You can't sit up and say, oh, well, they causing trouble, or they doing this, or they doing crime. Give them something to do. Give them an alternative. And back to that question you asked me, how would I groom the next person? We're gonna make it fun. We're not gonna stand above and talk to you, talk down on you. We're gonna talk with you, have some fun conversations. I remember the swimmobile. The bookmobile.
Yes, sir.
That came to your block. You ain't have to get in the car and pack your bag and go all the way downtown and look for somewhere to park. The swimmobile came to your block.
Come on,
The bookmobile came to your block. I want to implement some services like that. And I know I can't implement the swimmobile because
no question.
certain things.
Yeah.
But we can bring some kind of activities to the neighborhood. And that should be a summer thing, a winter thing, a fall thing,
Yes.
every year, round the clock. So I would like to implement programs like that.
Love
Man, it's funny you mentioned the swimmobile. Do you guys really realize that the swimmobile was nothing but the truck that we call trains and trucking, and it was nothing but a dump truck with
That's it.
water in
That's
it.
it.
Water in.
And we loved it.
What are you, man? What?
That's
Come on.
crazy.
Man, the swimmobile up there on 12th, man. I be at my grandma's house, man. The swimmobile up on 12th. Man,
Before cell phones, everybody knew.
Who sanctioned the swimmobile? Who sanctioned that?
I tell you what, man, you building everything now, rapper. You build the swimmobile.
Over.
You be wasting a lot of money. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man, ain't nobody getting in that. They not gonna allow that to happen.
No, it would never fly nowadays.
We would never fly nowadays.
Man, but you know what, see, you talk about the community and so many things for the youth. Let's tell the people. Obviously, this is not for Raph and I. This is not for your Benedictine or Southern family. Talk to the people about your upbringing and where you were and what your childhood was really like, so they can really understand this is a dude from the neighborhood.
Oh, man.
And it's into something great.
Sometimes, like y'all were saying, sometimes you go to the schools and when I'm out and I'm just dressed in some regular clothes, and they're like, you the chief? Well, you look like a chief.
Yeah, no, you're
Like one of us.
Nike Tech jogging suit, the dunks on there.
Yeah, I'm one of y'all.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up an all-A student with all good grades and citizenship. Man, I got kicked out of school.
What you mean?
It's been times where I thought I was gonna get kicked out of school forever. I mean, I've been chased home. I done chased people home.
Yes,
I
sir.
wasn't no angel, man. I grew up on the west side before I moved over here. We stayed on San Juan and Ewald Circle.
Yeah.
Dead end street.
Okay.
All them streets. San Juan, Prairie, Monica,
Yeah,
San
Oakland,
Rose,
right over
Scopel. Oakland. So Oakland, we ride our bikes.
Look at
Man, ride down Oakland, just looking at
Look at the cribs. Look at the cribs.
Look at the cribs. Riding our bikes. Like, man, I get rich. I get grown. I'm gonna get a house like that. That's all we want to do. We want to buy a house on Oakland. I still move on Oakland to this day. What?
Trying to tell you.
So that's the neighborhood I grew up, man. We wasn't rich, man. I'll tell you a story real quick, man. School time. Go school shop. Go to the mall. Get some new gym shoes. I want some Nikes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ain't about to get that. Paying no $20-something for some, like $20 is a lot of money back then.
Man, what you talking about?
I ain't paying no $20 for the Nike. Can't remember the store where I went to get these shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't no name. It might have been Kenny's or something, man. But the gym shoes, they had no name.
Okay.
They had me try them on. I'm trying them on reluctantly.
Yeah. Ain't even straightening your foot out.
No, they don't fit. Yes, they do. Give me and take them. Go to the crib. It's wintertime, too. It's cold. So I get to the crib, man. I'm trying to be not a great. Yeah.
No, you better. You better not.
You better not. I'm like, I want some Nikes. I tell the old dude, hey, Dad, I want some Nikes. They ain't getting no Nikes. I'm like, dang. A couple days later, we riding home or something. He's like, you really want some Nikes? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, he didn't change. He had to change your heart.
Yes, sir.
Get to the crib. Go down the basement. Man, I fly down the basement like it's a fire. Like we about to jump on the fire truck. I might have hit 3 steps. Go down the basement. I'm looking. Ain't no Nikes. I'm looking for some Nikes. I don't see no orange box. Nothing. I go back up the stairs like, Dad, I don't see nothing. He's like, you sure? Go back down there. I'm like, man, I don't see nothing. I come back up. Dad, I don't see nothing. All I saw was a shovel with a price tag on it. He said, yeah, that's yours.
Mm-hmm.
I said, there ain't no Nikes. He said, yeah, but it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
Oh.
He said, this is what you do. You shovel our snow, then you're going to go across the street and shovel Miss Anderson's snow, and then you're going to go door to door and ask the people politely, do they want their snow shovel?
Mm-hmm.
And once you make some money, enough money, you buy the Nikes
you want.
So I said, cool. So how much you going to pay me when I shovel our snow? He said,
No. This your
no,
practice.
this is your house.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have to give my money back for the shovel I got for you.
And this is how you earn your keep.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to charge Miss Anderson because she is a senior citizen. She elderly and still by herself. And that's how you serve. That's your service.
Boy.
And you going to shovel. Whoever snow you shovel, you're going to make sure ain't no snow on the ground.
Uh-oh.
And whatever they say is right because the customer is right.
Yo, dude told you that.
Flat out.
Man, that's big.
That's how I got my first pair of Nikes.
Wow.
Toes, fingers, numb.
Everything.
You know that great noise.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
But think about how you felt. It's crazy that you're saying this, man. The value of hard work. And look at you now. Detroit. You got a whole lot of Nikes now.
Yes, sir. This Detroit. This is a blue collar town. That's what we was built on.
But
we don't respect you if you don't put in the work.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna tell you what stood out the most when you said this. What your dad said. He said this is how you give service.
Yes, sir.
In your position as fire chief, you're serving the community, but as city council, you definitely will be serving the people. So you learn that lesson really, really early on in life. And so it's no mistake, it's no coincidence why you are in this position and where you're built for this moment.
Absolutely.
And because it comes full circle, and it's really appreciative from my lens.
No question about it. I think, Chief, and I kind of jokingly, I remember when you said, man, when you told me, we had a playoff game, obviously being Ralph there, man.
Yes, sir.
And, after the game over with, I come down, I sit down, and actually I'm sitting with Tick, and Ralph kind of a little bit over from me, and you sit behind me, you holler at me, man, we dap up, and you said, man, I need you to sign something, G. Like, what? Sign? I'm thinking it's a petition. I'm like, okay, well, maybe saying we need 5 more fire trucks in the firehouse or something. All right, I got you. What you need me to do?
Yes, sir.
You said, man, I'm running for city council.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and I kind of look, I'm like, hey,
Yes, sir.
my dog ain't told me nothing about this. So I kind of look, I'm laughing a little bit. He's like, no, I'm serious. I said, no, I'm signing right now.
Right on the
But I think that was a microcosm of who you are. You were there, obviously, to get the signatures too and all that, but you was there to support your dog.
Yeah, come on. See that kid get that W.
And the first time I went to the state championship game, your father went to SC, right?
Yes, sir.
Your dad goes to SC. So you call me and you say, G, man, Pops, got to get some tickets to the state championship game.
Wow.
It's the Final Four. No, Robbie, he said, man, y'all playing Friday in the semis, man, if Pops ain't there, he gonna trip out.
Yeah.
I said, man, you get Pops up here. And obviously the building was new.
Yeah.
Me and Pops, when you walk around, man, your old dude he's got a glow in his eye. And I remember he looked over at me and told me, he said, this is the first time we ever won a city championship, don't you? I said, yeah, yes, sir. He said, man, I'm proud of you, boy. He said, you keep doing it. And again, I'm proud of you, boy. I'm grown as ever.
Yeah.
I'm geeked up. I'm
Yes,
proud
sir.
of you, boy. I said, how many tickets you need, sir? Man, you give me enough tickets that I need. I want to sit down and I want to be at the Breslin with you. And I was sitting there and I'm looking at James, this high figure now doing this thing, but I'm looking at what got him to this.
Yes.
His family.
Mhm.
For your dad to still be connected to the community, for him not to forget anything, because again, in some people's eyes, he had made it. He was on San Juan and he wore a circle. He went to SC.
Come on.
Mac and B. That's why you made reference to Cadillac. You know about Cadillac and Mac. I know what it's like.
Yes, sir.
So for him to still be in touch with the people, and then his offspring be in touch with the people,
Yes,
says
sir.
everything.
Absolutely.
And every generation is supposed. We talk about getting better, being better. Well, Black people now, and I wrote a post about this today. It's crazy. When we hear better, the first thing we think, why you look like that, Chief?
Some material.
It's something material. It's about money.
Mhm.
But really what your old dude and your mom and what your family was able to do is the service that they provided, you've taken it to another level. And for us, I'm looking at, and Ralph has been talking about this for a long time, from a political standpoint, that's what we need.
Yes,
We
sir.
got to have these young people out here getting involved in politics. When we hold groups in the summertime, Ralph's been stressing to these young people, look, man, you can start on the lower end, just get involved in this, be able to make decisions.
Mhm.
That's it.
Now that you're able to make decisions and your daughter was here, talk about the experience now
Yes.
of you having to listen to your daughter. For you to have to ask her questions about your campaign, about everything you're doing, and for her to advise you, how does that really make you feel?
Man, it's humbling. I'm super proud, but they grow up, it seems like overnight.
Mhm.
And they go from your little princess, your little baby, to grown woman, like you said, telling you what to do.
Yeah.
And telling you the right thing to do where you can't even be like, yes, ma'am.
No question.
Right. So it's amazing, man, the scheduling. My oldest daughter called me at 6:30 this morning about a scheduling conflict we had. I'm like, okay, gotcha. It's just amazing. And one of my most proudest moments was this last presidential election. It was her first time voting. And we
Wow.
went together.
Okay.
And I ain't want her to do the absentee.
Mhm.
I ain't want her to do that. I want her to go and get the feel, the pulse of actually putting that ballot in, sending
Yes.
that
There
ballot,
you go.
filling that ballot out. That was a great, proud moment. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It's amazing because, again, we know what our girls, and obviously the three of us have daughters, the daughter being a take charge individual, no nonsense. I'm sitting there, I'm watching you for a minute as I guess we're in the green room.
Right.
So I'm looking
Yes,
at
sir.
y'all in the green room, right? And she's looking at you matter of factly, and you're giving her a look of straight humility. This experience I know is galvanizing y'all and everything, but I know, like you said, to see the leadership in them, but what it makes you realize is the leadership that these young people have.
Absolutely.
What kind of impact have they had on some of their peers?
Oh man, yes. It's got to be huge. And they're so much smarter than us and more technical than us.
Oh my
And
God.
once again, we are girl dad. They do mature faster than us.
Yes,
Oh, no.
absolutely.
Yeah. It takes us a while to get it as men and boys.
Mhm.
We got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this new generation we got, man. We in good hands, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Man, they're brilliant
Yes.
and they creative, and they like got entrepreneur on the brain. Like we want to create something, we want to own something, we want to build something, we want to store, we want to brand, we want to design stuff. They're amazing, and as you all know, they're amazing athletes too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
sure.
I think our future is bright.
I want to add to that question. So
Yeah.
now that you're in politics,
Yeah.
does either of any of your children, do they aspire to be into politics? Because this is, I'm big on this. I just think that they should be there. Have they even mentioned it? Have they even had a little twinkle in the eye? Hey, maybe I might want to get involved. Have they said anything about that?
No, but I can see little specks, little like okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can see just the leadership qualities there.
Okay.
To take charge, like G was just saying, like to take charge, like, hey, get up. You got to be here at this time. No, we got to
Really?
be here. Oh, dead serious. Like they've been in the military. Like, hey, no, Dad, it's time. It's 9:09. You gotta be here at 9:15. What we doing? Let's go.
Your babies.
Oh, for sure. Wardrobe, everything. No, that's not. That don't look like a politician. You gotta put on a navy blue suit. No.
Wow.
You can't put on those shoes. No,
Oh, so they say
serious.
they know the whole thing. So okay, let's do this. I want to ask more about the process in itself. For anybody who maybe be thinking about getting into the city council, as George mentioned, you were down at the game and Raph, I'm running for city council.
Yes.
Boom. How many signatures did you need to get on the ballot? And let's explain the process and how that all worked together, because it's somebody who's sitting out there who's thinking about it. Yeah. They're a little afraid and they say, man, if he did it, I could do it. But what is the process? What did you have to do to get on the ballot?
Yeah. So for city council at large, you need 500 signatures. The signatures have to be registered Detroit voters. Mm-hmm. For at large, of course, they can be live in any district. Okay? Mm-hmm. For districts, I think it's 250 or 300 signatures you have to have. And they have to live in that particular district. Mm-hmm. But it's humbling because you're going to get, I got 2 yeses for you all, and thank you. But for every yes, you might get 30 no's. And the no's might not be a polite no. Mm-hmm. It might be like, I ain't vote, my vote don't come. They get out of my face. Hey, my religion won't let me. Mm-hmm. Hey, no, I ain't got time. I just came to the gas station to get gas. Because I did it, got to remember, the deadline is the 22nd of April. I started in November when it was 10 below. Mm-hmm. I'm at the grocery store. I'm at church. I'm at a function, an event, gas station. I'm everywhere getting signatures. But a lot of people, some people I heard they pay to get signatures. I ain't doing that. Yeah, it's a 500 people. It's 500 potential voters. I get to shake hands with, have a conversation with, meet with, and talk to. And people, Detroiters are real. They'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna sign your signature. But the last time I signed somebody's petition, I ain't see him again. Am I gonna see you? Yes, ma'am, you will. Yes, sir, you will. So it's a humbling experience, like at the game. I'm there to see you win. I'm there to see the hoop game. Yeah. But I'm moving around. You gotta swallow your pride. Some people too cool to do that.
Listen, because that's a ton of rejection. So how hard, and I want the people to know, how hard did you have to work to get the 500? It's cold outside, as you alluded to. Some of them nights were cold as ever. Talk to us about that process.
Man, people running to the car like, man, it's 10 below. I ain't got time to sign your position. No.
I'm cold as hell, man.
Or I'm at the grocery store on Sunday. Grandma like, man, I ain't got time. I got my mac and cheese on. I'm just came to get some butter. No. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I was at an event. I forgot the name of it. It was a fashion show or something, man. A lady checked me. So everybody, I'm at a table. Everybody, I'm like, hey, would you mind signing? I'm James here. Da, da, da. So one lady came up to me. I was like, she's like, what you got going on? I was like, you mind signing my petition? I'm getting on the ballot for city council at large. Da, 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 da. She's like, no. And she kind of like was serious, stern about it. I was like, okay. She's like, I'm here to have a good time and you're here working. So no. I'm like, wow. Man, it only take you like 90 seconds to sign this. But I mean, I didn't argue with her. Yeah, I'm like, sense. That's her opinion. That's her opinion. But it was tough in those cold months, man. I'm outside. Took me back PTSD from shoveling snow. It's freezing. You know what I mean? So it was a humbling experience. And just to hear people's thought process. Yeah. You know, some of the elders, man, really gave me hope. Yeah, we need some fresh blood in there. Wow. Yes, I signed it in a heartdebeat. Really? Yes. Are you willing to make a change? How you feel about public safety? Public safety is my specialty.
There you go.
When I started the fire department, I only worked 2 days a week. I went back to school, got my bachelor's in criminal justice. So I know a little bit about law enforcement. Then I spent 27 years of my life dedicated to the Detroit Fire Department, EMS runs, fire runs, rescue, you name it on a high level. So public safety is number one.
Wow. Alan said chief is in it to win it, whatever it takes. I got that. That's absolutely. Oh, man. And so it's only 500 signatures. And we're going to get ready to get out of here. Chief, I want you to the last word, and I want you to look into that camera. Tell the people why you are the best candidate or the at-large bid to win that city council seat.
No matter what your race, no matter what your religion, no matter what your economic class, everybody's got a common denominator. You want to be safe. You want to be able to go to the store. You want to be able to walk to the store. You want to go in and out of your car, your garage, safe. James Harris has given flesh and blood literally on these streets of the city of Detroit for the last 27 years. I keep doing it. I sacrifice and do whatever it takes to keep this city safe. That's number one. Vote for James Harris on August 5th.
Oh man,
Wow.
I think that's pretty much it. That's definitely is the guy that we looking to have in the spot.
Yeah.
Because one, again, and we're just going to recap it, and I'm going to say this: he's of the city.
Yeah.
He's part of the product of the city. He's definitely of the community. He's been doing this community service for so long,
almost 3 decades.
and what better person than Brother James to be in that position? Because we know, hey, Brother James, my mom called me and she said something going on in the area. We need you to get on top of it. And he's probably going to get on top of it. So that makes him more accessible. And I think that when you listen to him tonight on State Champions Podcast, you really get a feel the warmth, the love, and the caring atmosphere that he brings, because he's that genuine person. And I want to piggyback and go back to, for you to come to a high school basketball game and to do that and to ask people, as George said, to get rejected and to stay with it, you are my guy. And I think that you should be the guy, and it should be for everybody guy. We really appreciate it, State Champions Podcast, because we're going to get out of here. G, you got a last word?
Now, you know what? August 5th, as my main man said, August 5th, the day after a special birthday. I tell you what, my man, we're proud of you. Keep doing your thing. But people, let's stop complaining. Get to the polls. If nothing else, James Harris.
All right, hold on. Because we got another comment before we go. They asking, how can we get involved and how can we help you? That's Lisa B.
Yeah.
And we know who Lisa
Wow.
B is.
All right. Go vote James Harris on Instagram, Facebook. There's a website also. You can click on there. The link is on there to volunteer and everything. Vote James Harris.
So
and thank you.
Oh, definitely. So go votejamesharris.com.
That's correct.
Votejamesharris.com.
Let's put it in the comments section. We're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure we get out and vote. You know, we complain a lot, but we do very little oftentimes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not have the complaints and you're not doing anything. If you didn't try to impact the game, don't complain when we lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
You know, so August 5th is a big time for us. It's a big time for you, but it's a bigger time for this city. We can get somebody with your professionalism, with your accessibility, with your service. You look at it, you've been serving forever, and now you want to serve in another capacity. People, you got to understand, he can be very comfortable right now. He got a good retirement. He's had a great career. He was chief of police, chief of fire. Now think about this too. If you've done any service in cities such as Los Angeles, Detroit, right, Dallas, any of that, you have served and you can go somewhere else and make a boatload of money.
That's correct.
It's been proven. For you to stick around here says a lot, not just about yourself, but about your feeling and a love for this city. So kudos to you. Thanks for coming on.
Man, shout out to State Championship Podcast. Man, I love y'all. Y'all been role models of mine since the days of Cooley.
Oh, man.
Keep on doing what y'all doing for the community and our youth. Love y'all, brothers.
Man, love you, bro.
Peace.
Cardinals, Ravens.
We out of here.
The champ is here!